Got it. Leave meeting.
I figured you hit the play button, and if anything needs to be edited out, then I'll edit it out. But
You're just gonna edit out all those spots that like make you look bad and leave all of the spots that I look like a doofus in.
would I really be your best friend if I didn't make sure you're flawless?
Exactly. That's the problem here.
At some point, we're gonna have to like come up with an intro.
What's up, homies? Dear besties.
Solid intro. Really good. And cut. World of fear. World of amazing. She's sicky.
Hey guys. It's so great to have you guys join us today.
Ew, stop it with the...
The Valley Girl?
We're not fake. The whole point of this is that we're as real as possible, so...
Which is probably really disgusting. But my name is Kaleigh, if you guys didn't know. I am a junior currently at Brigham Young University, Idaho. Go! We don't have
Vikings.
intramural sports, so I don't have a team to
Vikings.
cheer for. Oh, Vikings. Go Vikings. Not intramurals. What am I thinking of? Collegiate.
Yeah, we don't have collegiate sports at BYUI, but we have
No.
intramurals. We used to have collegiate sports.
But
And
we got rid of it for some reason.
That's why we are the Vikings. But yeah.
Well, it's good because I'm Norwegian, so it fits. I'm studying communications, and my emphasis is in public relations. I'm 20 years old, and I'm living in Idaho, but I'm originally from Washington.
I'm Madison. Nobody calls me that. Wow. That
I sometimes do.
sometimes
It's
do.
weird.
Most people call me Maddie. I am 23 years old. I'm a graduate of Brigham Young University, Idaho, as of the last 4 months. I got my degree in communications, and now I'm living in Florida and teaching dance for a living. And
Living
Katie-
2,000 miles away from your best friend.
yes, and I am thousands of miles away from my bestie, which is how the idea of this whole thing was born.
How could we not talk about how we met?
I was
That's-
getting there. I was
That's
getting
a
there.
good story.
So by the time this podcast episode airs, it's probably going to either be on or after the day of our 1-year friendiversary.
That's so cute.
Yeah. So November 26th, 2020. We were both working at Old
Thanksgiving
Navy.
Day.
Yeah, Thanksgiving Day, mind you. Thanksgiving. It was a holiday. We were both working at Old Navy, and we both got scheduled to work the Thanksgiving night shift.
The holidays just bring people together.
Yeah. So I show up. I had worked at Old Navy for like a week, you guys. 1 week.
I'd been there
One
for
solid week. You'd been there for like 5 months, 4 months.
4 or 5 months.
So Kaleigh at this point knows the ropes behind how Old Navy functions as a business. I at this point had only worked at the cash register and nothing else. Like I had done nothing else. And I show up for the Thanksgiving shift pissed off because I was supposed to have Thanksgiving off. But instead they decided to schedule me and told me that I would not have a job if I didn't show up. But I showed up
Yeah, it's really cool when they do that. Love that.
Oh, it's so great. So I showed up like angry. Like I was so mad. I'm like slamming my locker. I've got headphones in. I was like not acknowledging anyone. And they
Which
assign us to our spots.
So funny because I just want to point out Madison comes in wearing boots and she like just pulls tennis shoes out. And I'm like, oh, so she thinks she's fancy. She doesn't wear her tennis shoes in. She wears boots in and then changes her shoes. I don't know why that bothered me, but I was like, so she's mad. I don't even know her. She's got her mask up to here, her glasses down on her face, and she just looks so angry. And I'm like, okay, so we're gonna have a problem.
Well, I had just left Thanksgiving dinner at my brother's wife's family's house. So I was hanging out with my brother and his wife and her family and my nephew, and I did not want to leave them. Oh my gosh, I did not want to leave them. So I had dressed.
I had left Thanksgiving with my grandparents.
Yeah, so I had dressed nice, but I didn't.
You were dressed nice too.
Yeah, like I had a sweater and a scarf and earrings. My hair was curled, like my boots, and
you had that braid that you always do.
For some strange odd reason, I thought, okay, I'm not going to change my shoes in the car. I'm just going to bring them in with me. What kind of pretentious, anyways. So yeah, I looked really stupid. Needless to say, after about a week of showing up to work like that, I started showing up with my hair in a bun, a t-shirt, and sweatpants. So, but
well,
I get
also
assigned.
Kind of started having medical problems around that time, so it was
struggle bussing it. So I get assigned to work shipment, okay? And this just basically means we take all of the boxes that have been unloaded from the truck that was delivered, we open them up, and we take them out to the sales floor, okay? I didn't know this. I had no idea what that meant. And Kaleigh had been doing shipment, like that was like her thing. She had been doing it for months.
2 months.
And
I started it in September once all the high schoolers couldn't do it anymore because they were going to school. So shipment was what I did twice a week, every single week, Tuesdays and Thursdays.
So I get put on shipment with Sasha, who's another friend of ours, and Kaleigh. Well, Sasha and I have no idea what we're doing. So Kaleigh gets mad because she's like irritated that she's working with the two people who have no idea what we're doing.
It wasn't even that. I was irritated that I was even doing shipment because I was told that I was going to come in and do ship from store, which was just basically packing orders for people that ordered and like getting them shipped out. And that's what I was like excited to do. That's what I like to do because all I ever did was shipment. And I go in and poor Alyssa, who's the manager that night, goes, you're going to work on shipment. And I was like, okay, I'll work on shipment. And she's like, okay, here are the teams. Shipment team is going to be Kaleigh, Madison, Sasha. I was like, is this a joke? Like, is this funny for you? Are you having fun with this? I look at Sasha and Sasha like looks like she has fear in her eyes. Like she fears for her life because I'm just like raging at this point.
Then we go back to the area for shipment. And I'm asking Kaleigh all these questions. And I'm like, okay, so what am I doing? Like, how do I pull this out? Where do I put it? Then where do I take it? Blah, blah, blah.
Well, because originally I was like, we're going to go run boys first because we had Z-Rails and Baker's racks full of boys products. So I was like, let's just go run it and then we'll come back and start unpacking. And I said it exactly like that.
And I was like, what do you mean run it? I was like, where are we running?
I was like, I pointed to a Baker's rack, I'm pretty sure. And I was like, grab that and follow me.
That's exactly what she said. So I was terrified of her. And I was like, great, I'm going to spend the next 6 hours into the night working with some chick who's already got her mind made up about me. And you know what? I've got my mind made up about her and I don't even want to, like, this is awful. And
mind you, I'm like 5'4", right? I'm like a tiny girl. Like not tiny, but Madison like towers over me. And I just had no fear in my heart at that point. I was just upset. And so when I'm upset, all fear disappears.
Gone.
It's non-existent.
So
because I can see that she's visibly angry, but in my mind, I don't care because I'm angry.
Yeah. So the next couple of hours go by and we're working on this stuff and we start listening to music.
And I think like at this point, like I'm starting to warm up like a little bit, but I'm still just like in the zone where I'm like, I just want to get this done so we can all leave.
Yeah, seriously. So we start listening to music and we start listening to High School Musical, the series, the Christmas
album. Because Alyssa let me start playing my own music, or somehow her music had stopped. So I just started playing music on my phone and that album had just dropped. And you know, me being me, a giant fan of Joshua Bassett and High School Musical, the series, like why would I not play that?
Oh
on
yeah,
Thanksgiving.
100%. So we're listening to that and we're just kind of singing along. And I was like, "Oh, have you watched the show? Like, do you like it?" And she was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Me too. If you like this, you should watch Julie and the Phantoms." And she's like, "I have watched it." And so then we started listening to that music. And by the end of the night, we're just like singing along. And then, like, from that point forward, we kind of just decided we were going to be friends. And then I had a really rough bout of chronic illness and UTIs and
You
sepsis and hospital visits, and it was bad.
you know what it was though? Is you were like, we should sing a cover of Wake Up together.
That is what it
And
is.
I was like, I've never had anyone ask me to do that because I've never had anyone value my voice in that way. And so like from that moment on, I was like, oh, she understands. She gets me.
Yeah.
I'm a singer, she's a singer. And she was talking about like going on Broadway and like all the stuff that like I could relate to that I didn't have a lot of people in my life that did. And if I ever mentioned that, like I wasn't like taken seriously about it because like I literally dated a boy who before we started dating told me I couldn't sing.
Oh my gosh. Is it the box? Is the box the one that told you couldn't sing?
Yes.
As my
Can we
brother
please?
calls him, the box.
Does he still refer to him as the box?
Yes, he still refers to him as the box.
That's the funniest thing.
So,
Oh my gosh, you have to tell him.
no, we don't drop.
But in all reality, yes, call your brother and be like, "Have I got some news about the box?" And he's gonna be like, "Geez, I thought we were done with this," and I'd be like, "I thought we were too."
Yeah, so Kaleigh and I worked Thanksgiving and we worked Black Friday. And the night of Black Friday, I ended up with a minor medical emergency, which then turned into not working the entire month of December. I was on bed rest basically. I wasn't going to class. I had adjusted my entire schedule to do it from my bed. And Kaleigh would come and sit with me when I was bored.
I just remember I went on live because I was bored. I went on live on Instagram with Sasha and we were like in the living room and Madison just pops into my live and she goes, "I'm bored. Come over." And I said, "Sorry guys, the live's over." I ended the live and I texted her. I was like, "You want soda vine?" And you're like, "Yeah, get me this." So I came over with Sasha and we brought you soda vine and a lot of the visits of me just sitting there, we would like watch interviews from Julie and the Phantoms because that was your obsession at that point.
That was my comfort zone at the
I
moment.
loved Julie and the Phantoms, but I wasn't quite at the level you were at and my love for it.
No,
but I was like okay with just sitting there and like.
Mind you, I had like a fan account at the time and like a TikTok and crap, and that was just like that was my way of coping with my anxiety, which is not the best way to do it, and I still do it in some regard with new things now.
Yeah.
But like at the time, Julie and the Phantoms was my comfort space. If I was anxious, if I was sad, if I was anything, it was we were doing something with Julie and the Phantoms, and that was gonna like bring me happiness or whatever. So that was, yeah, I mean, we drove around town sometimes and went and got like Sonic, and we were like,
that was the best experience of my entire life because I'm pretty sure the Sonic people thought that I was completely wasted because I was acting like I was, even though I was completely sober, but I was the one driving. So I think that's what was concerning.
Oh yeah, they just like looked at me a little cripple.
Because I barely could get you out to the car.
Yeah, it was a struggle bus, you guys. I literally like lived in my bed for.
But you were like, "I haven't done anything all week. Like I haven't left my bed and I'm hungry." And I was like, "Well, I want ice cream. So get your booty out of bed and get in my car." And that's about all you could do.
Yep.
But then like Julie and the Phantoms happened, like the music, and you were just like going at it in my car, just like
scream singing the music.
Wake up.
Yeah, it was quite entertaining. But yeah, that's how we became friends. That's how we met. And then that friendship just kept growing, I guess, until
the other videos that live rent free in my head is when I was basically living with you at the time and I'm on the ground just like doing somersaults under my blanket and I'm like walking on the ground.
Cut to inserting those videos if I actually find them.
Please, like, insert one of them. You have like, I think I literally have one because you texted it to me, and I saved it on my phone because it's literally the one where I'm like this under the blanket and I roll over and slam my body into your bed.
Oh my gosh.
I'm pretty sure I was high.
I definitely thought you were.
On life, Mom. I wasn't high. I don't do drugs.
I wouldn't let her actually get high.
I was high on life. Oh, also it was just called sleep deprivation.
Oh, there it is. You ran into the bed. I literally said, "Are you breathing?"
I heard it. I heard the smack into the bed. I was trying to do like the tripod where but I was also under my blanket, so the blanket got caught. And then I just went over. Yep. And that's why I'm not a gymnast.
Yep.
Or a dancer. I do little country dances.
Oh man. What a friendship we have had. She's really feeling herself today.
Let me see if I can find a funny background to put on.
Oh my word.
I'll just change it my virtual background every week. What image does Kaleigh do today?
No telling.
I'm gonna be at the theaters today. There we go. I am at AMC.
Man.
All right, what do you want to talk about? What are we doing here?
Dude, I don't know. Joy to the world.
Shut up. I have a drink too. Mine's just not in a cute mug, and it's a coffee alternative because I like coffee, but I don't drink it.
I'm drinking hot apple cider.
Ah, cute.
Even though it's 75 degrees outside.
I wish. Hypothetically, what if I just got in my car and started driving all the way to Florida, like right now?
It would take you like 36 hours to get to me.
And your point being?
You better get in your car now if you want to make it here sometime soon.
Oh, I have to be back by Saturday. I'm flying home.
Well, then you really better get in your car.
It's 55 degrees here. Oh, I got a text from my dad yesterday morning, and he said, he's like, do you want to wait till you're home to have your mom's birthday dinner? Because my mom's birthday is on Friday and I get home on Saturday. And I was like, yeah, I think I would like that. Why do you feel like you needed to ask?
Why was that even a question?
Like, do you know me at all? My dad has a tendency to send me like trailers for stuff, like the day they come out, but like little does he know I've already seen it.
Yep.
You know, like he sent me the Stranger Things trailer right after I watched it. Or he sent me the trailer for Tom Holland's movie. Uncharted. But I think he's more excited for that movie than I am because he played Uncharted.
True. I'm only interested in that movie for one thing and one thing only, and that is Mr.
Tom Holland. Heck yeah. I mean, like, I'm a fan of Mark Wahlberg too, I guess.
Yeah, like, Mark's good. He's
like Tom Holland.
But
Can we talk about how Jake Gyllenhaal is just getting torn apart in the media right now for a relationship he was in 10 years ago?
Well,
you know what? I strive to be Taylor Swift. Like having that power over men and the media. Homegirl's really good, and honestly, I don't know who her PR team is, but they deserve a raise.
She is her own PR team. Honestly.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. Like, that sounds about right.
Yeah. Can we just talk about the fact that, like, Red album Taylor's version came out right at the end of you and I having like awful weeks, like
Right?
absolutely awful. And I know that like over the last couple of weeks, I've said jokingly, like, I need something bad to happen so that I can like scream, sing, and cry in the shower. Okay, but the Lord didn't have to unleash all of
I know.
hell on me this week.
I was like, isn't that fun? Because like I was talking to my friend Bryce like 2 days earlier. I was like, oh, the Lord has like such a sense of humor. Like I think that that's so funny. And then like the next day I get news about something, and I'm just like, that's really funny. Thank you. I wasn't being serious. I take it back.
Well, and can we just talk about the fact that of all of the albums to come out, you know, to be re-released by Taylor Swift, in the midst of you and I being completely in love with guys who are like our best friends and we don't want to screw anything up, it had to be
No, I'm out.
like
I don't know about anyone.
it had to be Red. Like, why?
Honestly, dude, the night it came out, I drove to St. Anthony with a friend of mine. That's a boy, but like it's not weird, I promise. Drove to St. Anthony in a parking lot and rolled down the windows and just played Begin Again, because that is like my anthem right now. And like, oh, but then you know how I send songs to people all the time?
Oh yeah.
I almost sent to that guy. Like there's been about 4 different times that I've almost just like send.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. You know what I did send to what's his bucket? We need to come up with code names or something so we don't blast.
Yeah, because I actually don't know exactly who you're talking about.
You don't know who I'm talking about?
No, did something happen that you didn't tell me about?
Maybe.
Am I gonna have to kill you right now? That you just didn't tell me and I'm finding out now? Because you're like, we're both in love with our best friends. And I was like, we are? I wasn't quite aware of that. Madison! No! Specifically, no! Oh,
Look,
Maddie.
I'm not happy about it. I'm not proud of it.
I can't even be mad at you because me too.
Issue, but I literally texted because I've been sending him music requests a lot. I do that too to people, and I ended up sending him All Too Well.
Stop. The 10-minute version?
And he listens.
That was not a good move.
He listens to it and texts me back, and he goes, "Ouch." And I was like, "Well, you know, our friendship has been a little." And when we're in one of those like holes in the ground, this song is my go-to. And he was like, ouch. And I was like,
Yeah. I was like talking with my roommate last night and I was like, oh, I can't keep doing this to myself. And she goes, I know, but you're so happy when you're with him and like you just like, ugh. And I'm like, I wish that I wasn't. Like, I don't want, I want to be an independent woman. Oh my gosh, have you seen the stuff Harry's been like, the accounts that's been made for his new album?
who?
Like that, I saw it on TikTok. Harry Styles is like teasing an album right now. It's called Pleasing.
Homeboy is making movies and he's on tour and he's teasing an album.
I think it's called Pleasing.
So
yeah, because it's trending right now. Harry Styles has launched a fragrance and cosmetic brand. That's what it is. He's launching a makeup and isn't that crazy?
Harry making moves. moves. Making moves. Okay.
Ah! I like saw that and I like started freaking out. Yeah, it's sold out. All of it. All the pre-orders for it. I think it's nail polish.
That I would not be surprised by.
Cause look at this. This is like,
Ooh.
right?
Ah.
It's so like, I love it.
It's okay. The Christmas sweater that I'm wearing today, when I opened up TikTok earlier, the first thing that came up on my For You page was JoJo Siwa wearing the same sweater. I was like, wow, looks like we both shop at Target.
So at this point, Maddie, I think we should just like drop the boys that we're in love with and just be in love with each other.
I cannot tell you how many times I've already thought of that.
Cause it's like, is it worth it? Especially like because I'm in a position where I'm like, ooh, I really have no idea where he stands, especially because of the situation that we're in and all the history behind it.
Quick little word to the wise. If you like the brother or the cousin or the roommate or the best friend, don't make out with their brother, cousin, roommate, best friend. Saves yourself a lot of trouble.
Are you talking about when my mind went to when, what do we call him for you? Mr. Poopy Butthole.
No. Pineapple. Let's just call them fruit names. So
Okay, fine. I want mine to be Kaleigh.
okay, yours is kiwi, mine's pineapple, and I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the time Pineapple was
In a parking lot outside.
dating my best friend, and they were secret about it, and I caught them making out in his car outside of my place of employment. So much for being secretive about it. They were stupid.
Who says, yeah, let's keep this a secret, but let's go to her parking lot where she works? Like, y'all really, like, the stupidity.
It's okay. She's married, and he's dead to me. So
Is he not?
no,
Is Pineapple dead to you? Because I don't think he is.
no, Pineapple's not dead to me. I got issues, okay? I got problems. I'm well aware.
Hear me out. I was told to write a letter. Or like, I had an idea of writing a letter, and my roommates were like, write the letter to Kiwi, give it to them before you go home, or have someone give it to them while you're home. Because I'm home for a week next week.
Yeah.
That's called anxiety.
Starts it with, dear best friend, scratches it out. You're not my best friend. Maddie's my best friend. Dear so-and-so, dear Kiwi.
Dear friend that is close to me, but not as close as Madison.
Dear second place love of my life.
Dear person who, my second favorite person that currently is in relation to Florida.
Yes, I currently live in Florida, so that checks out. That checks out.
Honestly, like, why is there even code names? I feel like we're giving enough away that this is just like, because I don't have the balls to actually like say it out loud, you know?
Yeah, that's a whole nother like step of dragging their name across the internet. Also, if we want to do it like Taylor Swift, it's more fun to just drop all these hints.
That's true.
Like
Then
she's
we can
never
have
come
our
out and said, All Too Well was written about my 3-month relationship with Jake Gyllenhaal, and he did this and this and this, and the scarf is a metaphor for my virginity, and blah, blah, blah. She never said any of that. She just...
Wait, did Jake Gyllenhaal take her virginity?
Mhm.
Ew. Jake Gyllenhaal, really?
Yeah, so like people keep saying that the scarf is a metaphor for her virginity.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past Taylor.
Like, because
she literally puts thought into like little every context clue.
In the song, she's just like, I left my scarf there at your sister's house. and you've still got it in your drawer even now. And, you know, it's because when somebody takes your virginity, you can't get it back.
Yeah.
Thank goodness I still have mine, ladies and gentlemen.
I didn't know it was that kind of podcast.
I didn't realize how real we were getting.
You know, if they listen to this though, that they're gonna know that it's them.
I don't care.
We release it.
Maybe
That's
I
true.
should.
Like, am I gonna get a text that's like, "Is this about me?" And I'd be like, "Are you stupid?" Because honestly, like, am I in love with the? How do I want to phrase this that it doesn't seem crazy? Like I'm crazy, you know?
Yeah.
Have I had feelings for this person for almost a year now? Yes. So that kind of grows. Was there a moment where those feelings weren't quite at the surface because of other things going on in my life? Yes. Did I make some bad decisions regarding these feelings because I was angry? Yeah, I sure did. But would I go back and change it? Yeah, 100%. Yeah. If I could take it back, homie, it would be gone. It would be gone, right?
Look, this was the biggest problem with me moving across the country is
You weren't there to stop me.
I was not there to act as her Jiminy Cricket or her angel on her shoulder to tell her.
But that's why it happened, is because you moved and I was sad and lonely.
Lonely
Like,
doesn't
I
mean
had
there's a lot of
no friends here over the summer. So it just happened, and I can't take it back.
I can't take it back. I can't take it back.
Guys, you can say hi.
Oh, hello. Oh, wait. Hold on. This is interesting, isn't it? That was really funny.
Special
What
guest.
was really funny?
Kaisa.
She's so cute. We're gonna go take pictures later, probably, because I feel really cute today.
Fun. I have no one to take pictures of me, or I would take pictures on the beach. But it's always
I'm really sad that you just said that to me, so I'm immediately about to go get in my car and drive 36 hours to you.
drives 36 hours to take pictures of me on the beach. How nice.
Why? I guess maybe I've never felt so desperate in my life for a human connection, just because, like, I love my roommates, and like Erin was there and we hung out all of the time over the summer because her boyfriend was in Washington back home, and that's fine, but it's like, I just had no one outside of my apartment, so I was working all the time, and I was like really emotionally not in a good place.
Correct.
And I feel like that was taken advantage of, but I also took advantage of that.
Interesting. That taking advantage of was definitely double-sided.
Yeah. It for sure was.
Of taking advantage of each other.
But at the end, it screwed me over. And now I'm just going to not have friends again because my whole life is a lie. Not a lie, just messed up. And it's all because of me. I did it. Like, I can't blame anyone else because it was me. I was fully aware of my actions.
Is it me? Am I the drunk?
It is. Like, it is me.
It is me. Oh.
And like, people are probably gonna listen to this and be like, "This is so stupid. Like, what is she doing?" I'd be like, "You're right. It was stupid. Like, that's what we're saying."
That's the
Here's the thing. I'm just a younger version of Madison, just a little more bold when it comes to boys. But that's because we've had very different experiences.
Different experiences with the male species.
Oh, I went to the parking lot with my friend, and then I went to the parking lot the next day to do the same thing. I have videos of me and Kaisa spinning, but it was with Kaisa, and this truck pulled into the parking lot and was like shining at us and like flipped around and then sat right in the like driveway. And then another car pulled in and they started talking to each other, and I was like, now it's time to go. So me and Kaisa hopped in the car and left because I'm like, we got followed home from a gas station in Yukon. Like, who does that? An old man tried to climb in my car.
With me inside it.
No, I wasn't even the one inside my car. Do you remember where, I think you were at a dance competition and I texted you because I had gone to Utah and I was like, I'm freaking out, dude. This guy is following us on the highway and being really creepy and I'm like about to have a panic attack.
Yes, I remember you called me or you texted me because I was telling you exactly what to do. I was like, don't go back to her house. Don't get off the highway. Keep going. I was like, drive a couple more exits.
We're like, if he keeps following us though, at the next exit, we're getting off and we're driving straight to a police station. Like I had it routed on my map. Like I was set. But then he just like backed off. And I think he finally got the hint that he was freaking us out.
Yeah.
Because he was like rolling up next to us and he had his window down and he just smiled at us and like kept like getting around cars to get up next to us. And I was like, how in your mind do you think that that's okay? How does that just makes me think of when on Friends when Joey's talking about his tailor and Chandler turns around and he goes, okay, you have to stop when there's resistance with the Q-tip in the ear.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
I'm really sad that I didn't like go out for Halloween, but it's because it was on a Sunday because I had such a good Chandler outfit and Kaisa was a really good Rachel. I mean, Monica. Because I have a blue shirt, like the shirt that she wore when Ross catches her and Chandler through the window.
Ooh.
The blue like button up and we mismatched the buttons like in the actual episode.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, I dressed up as
make sound, you're okay. My roommate's currently like tiptoeing through my room. Like I'm like, you're okay. Like this is my room too.
Yeah, like I dressed up as Peyton Sawyer from One Tree Hill for Halloween. I didn't go out
so cute.
On Halloween. I went out the night before.
What was it? What was I doing the night before? I don't think I really did anything the night before. But the night of, we had that game night that led to my roommate spitting pickle juice all over my cards, my deck of cards. So I threw them away. And she owes me a new pack of cards.
I get it. You're angry. You're upset.
I'm upset about a lot of things. Do we want to go through our week and what freaking happened this week?
Look,
do we want to unpack that?
This is episode 1 and we're already getting down to the nitty gritty. Look, it was a rough week.
I literally sat in a room full of people and just cried on Wednesday night. And the only person I didn't want to talk to me about it tried to talk to me about it, and then I was rude to her.
Oops. Yeah.
That's because she thinks she may think that the guy that I like is really hot.
Well, that's not helpful.
And I really don't like knowing that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. She does not think that at all, you know.
It's one of Kaisa's friends.
Oh, is it octopus? Yeah. I know where I'm going with that.
Yeah. You're 100% right. How'd you know? Is it something I said or like?
Maybe it's because you've told me about her and that just gives me the same vibes, you know?
Also, like I was really like uncomfortable in the car last night. So that's also like partly why I called you.
Oh, when you called me last night?
Yeah, on the way to rock climbing.
Yeah, I was like, there's a million people in that car. Like, what are you doing?
No one was talking to me. So I was just like sitting in the front seat, like awkwardly. So I was like, I'll call Maddie.
Yeah, I was laying on my couch watching Virgin River on Netflix and eating unhealthy food.
What food? Tell me.
What was I eating last night?
I ate a bagel yesterday. Ooh.
I think
that's all I ate though.
What did I eat? Oh, I was eating chips and salsa.
That's not unhealthy. Chips and salsa sounds
No, that's
really
not
good right
bad.
now.
The night before I had McDonald's.
Oh, oh my gosh, I have tortillas right now and I have salsa, so I could make chips from tortillas by baking them in the oven.
Yum. Yeah, okay. Here's the thing. Here's what I need from you, Kaleigh. The motivation to work out. Cause see, I go to my job. I'm a dance teacher. For those of you who don't know what I do for a living, I'm a dance
Yeah.
teacher. I like dance 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. And so I'm like slimming down pretty okay. But I also
You
need to,
look great.
thank you. Thank you. I also need to tone my muscle though, because I was working with one of my students on like a lift and I like went to pick her up over my shoulder and I was like, oh my gosh, my arm. And then I was like, well, you know what? If I worked out and actually had triceps, that wouldn't have hurt.
I did bench press for the first time because like typically we just use dumbbells, but we wanted to try bench press. So right here is like sore. But I have so much fun working out and I literally feel so good working out that we went from doing like 20-minute workouts and just like calling it a day to like we're now at the gym for over an hour.
See, I would go to the
You
gym,
don't have time. That's the thing.
but I don't want to go by myself. No girl wants to go to the gym by herself, either early in the morning or late at night. Like,
Yeah, I'm really lucky to be able to have access to the school gym where there's always like people watching and stuff.
yeah. See, if I went to the gym, I'd be going to Planet Fitness,
Yeah.
and there's no kind of anything in place at Planet Fitness to make me feel like, and I happen to live in a lower income, high crime part of town. So
Yeah.
I've been
They have
thinking,
the Lunkel arm.
yeah, that's true. Well, I was
because
thinking
that's not contradictory to their judgment-free zone.
I know. Well, I thought maybe I would get a gym membership where my coworker goes and he goes after work every day.
Mm-hmm.
But also, like, I can't imagine myself having the energy after working a 9-hour shift on my feet to then turn around and go to the gym.
Yeah, I get that. I used to work out after work sometimes when I had a job, and I was constantly on my feet. Oh, I went there yesterday.
You told me you went to go visit Mary, the lovely lady who bought your
Of
plane.
course I did. How could I not? Mary is honestly my second mom. Mary, if you ever watch this, I don't know if you will. Shout out, homegirl. Love
Shout
you.
out to Mary.
Shout out to Mary.
I never met
Shout
her.
out to my homie Bryce that just put in his 2 weeks at Old Navy yesterday. Shout out to Aaliyah, who her last day was yesterday. I know this is so petty of me, but I'm like waiting for the downfall, you know?
Yeah, I quit Old Navy in May.
I quit in September, so I held on a little bit longer. Well, actually a lot of bit longer because I also started months before you.
I also moved across the country.
Well, that is not my problem.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
You also quit before you moved.
I did.
But
I had to do my other
Can
job.
we expose Old Navy? Is that allowed?
I mean,
We
I
don't
don't
name
see
names.
why not. Well, I quit Old Navy early, A, because I wasn't being treated like a human being. B, I was not getting paid enough for the amount of work they were wanting us to do. And C, I had a second job and it was right in the middle of recital and nationals. And so I needed to focus on that.
You also had a little bit of a mental breakdown and just called them and quit after calling your dad.
But that was a long time coming.
Yeah, I was upset. I'm surprised I didn't quit because I was really angry about after hearing what the managers were saying about me behind my back. Mostly because I'm like, I put
right after me.
I put my blood, sweat, and tears into that job.
Literally.
Like there was no one there more devoted to that job than I was because I genuinely cared about that job. Yeah. Even though it was like a minimum wage job, or like I guess we got paid more than minimum wage, but like I put so much time and effort that like having someone tell me that I would not be a good manager because I'm too negative is so hypocritical because they were even saying that.
Oh my word.
Oh.
Insanity.
And okay, so I wanted to tell you something that happened last night that I was like kind of low key like fuming about.
Oh geez, what happened?
So I was talking about my internship opportunity with Melaleuca that I'm pretty stoked for. I haven't gone into interview, like I know it's still up in the air and there's no like, you know, guarantee that I get it because it's definitely competitive. And if I don't get it, that's okay. But when you work with Melaleuca, you have an opportunity to get a gem membership to Botify at a reduced cost because they want they're a health and wellness company, so they want to promote that through like providing gym memberships at a reduced cost. My roommate's boyfriend was like, oh, so like if you get the internship, like are you gonna get a membership to Botify? And someone was standing next to me at the time, and I was like, no, because I wouldn't want to run into people that I know there.
Wait,
Because
was Kiwi standing next to you?
What?
Was Kiwi standing
Yeah,
next to you? Okay.
because they go there to that particular gym.
For real? That's where I went when I had a gym membership when I lived there.
Yeah. And so it was like a joke. My roommate's boyfriend goes, well, I've seen girls there that like I've gone on dates with and stuff, and like I just don't make a big deal about it. And I was like, if you're talking about a completely different situation that includes a completely different person, I was not referencing that, and I was making a joke.
Oh no.
Like it was a, and then like thankfully I think that he was gonna say something and like back me up, but then he just decided to not, which is okay. But like we all know it's not me making the big deal out of this.
Yeah, no, it's
But
the
for
other
some
party
reason he
fault.
has it, her boyfriend has it in his head that it's me. I'm the one making the big deal.
Is it me? Am I the
Am
drama?
I the drama?
In this situation, no, you're not the drama. It's not you.
So I was like frustrated because I was like, why would you one even bring that up? No one was talking about that.
For real.
I'm ready to just, I'm always ready to fight someone though.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Which I think is fair, like to some extent. But Monday, beginning of the week, Monday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Good day. I don't even think anything like extraordinary happened that day. I went and volunteered at the animal shelter like I do every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I was there for 2 hours. I went home. I probably took a nap because I'm lazy. Neglected all of my homework that was due on Tuesday. Monday, I literally do nothing because I don't have homework due that day. And I should work on the stuff for Tuesday, but I just don't want to, so I don't. And then we went to the Hart building for FHE and played Up and Down the River, which is a card game with my FHE brothers, which was fine. It was fun. And then they talked about FHE ideas and they said, let's go donate blood. And I said, I'm gonna have to pass on that one. I don't do needles. Tuesday is where it starts, right?
Yeah.
My first class, group dynamics. Love the class, love the people in the class. I just like have a moment with one of the girls where I'm like, I just feel frustrated because I feel like I'm not being listened to. And the teacher's like, you guys have to hurry. You're like the last group left. And to restart the simulation for the second run through the class, every group has to be done. And our group wasn't. And I was like, we have to go. And she's like, no, we're not going. And I was like, and I think I was the leader too in that moment. I was the one in charge that round. And I was like, we have to go. And then later we were like talking about the presentation and I made a joke. I was like, yeah, clearly some of us don't really work well under pressure. And her response to that was, yeah, you guys really were like freaking out kind of. And I was like, are you joking? This was a joke. You realize that you just said that to me.
Oh my gosh.
Next class, organizational principles. Brother Judkins, love him. Wonderful teacher. It had nothing to do with him. We were doing war negotiations.
Ooh.
I was from a country called Gandul, and we were finally meeting with the opposing countries because there's 4 countries. 2 of them were allies. It was me and Ruminski, or like Gandul and Ruminski against Frondel and the United Federation. So, live long and prosper, am I right? I like literally can barely do it. But
Die.
I'm dying right now. So we meet with the other thing to start negotiations and basically like list of demands and stuff. And we have our opening statements, and they open with like, we have a bomb. We'll bomb you if we have to. Like, very aggressive they start out, which is fine. And we're like, well, these are our demands. Like, we want you to admit that you killed our prime minister, and that's basically why our economy has fallen apart and why we started this war in the first place. And so basically we just go through these motions, and they're being like very aggressive the entire time, which I then feel like, as a diplomat for my country, because this is just a simulation, right? It's stupid.
Yeah,
it's a simulation.
It's not real.
I'm like frustrated because like I'm trying to take it somewhat seriously in the fact that they're not listening to anything that we're saying. And they're like, we just want peace. And I was like, peace? You guys, the first thing out of your mouth is, we have a bomb and we'll drop it if we have to. So I was just frustrated from that class because like, I was not being heard, and I got heated. And you know me, and the fact that like I match people's energy.
That is true. That is very true.
And so when people are getting frustrated and like being rude and not listening to me, then I'm going to fight fire with fire, and I'll say something snarky back. So at one point I was like, I'm just not talking anymore. That's going to have to be someone else's job because I'm done.
Yeah.
And then I have an hour and a half. I have about 2 hours in between that class and my last class that starts at 5, which I love this class with all my heart. It's with my emphasis, public relations, principles and practices. So that's where we're learning the base, and we're like, you know, just starting out, we're like little babies, little PR babies. But I have a presentation. I have a chapter presentation that I gave the guy my number last Thursday to text me so we could start on it. It's now Monday night. I completely forgot about it. Haven't heard anything from this guy. Nothing. Tuesday morning, I get up and I'm like, well, crap. I have to present on a chapter later that I haven't even read, haven't even thought about, like, and I have to present on it. So I text him. Actually, no, I didn't text him. I didn't have his number.
Right?
I went to the school directory, found his name from my class roster, looked him up in the school directory to find his email, to then email him and be like, here's the link to the Google Slides, because we have to present today and you've done nothing. So I then fill out 6 slides and he fills out 2. And I was like, there's no time for us to meet in person because these are the times I have available. He's like, well, I'm not available at that time, so just text me if you have questions. And I was like, whatever.
Oh my gosh.
Whatever. I'm just frustrated because I'm like, I don't work. And I get into the classroom and he's like, what, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm fine. And he goes, I didn't mean to stress you out. And I was like, well, you did. I'm stressed out.
I'm stressed.
And like Avery, bless her little heart, is like, are you okay? Like, are you doing okay? And I'm like on the verge of tears because this day has just been a crapshoot from the beginning.
Yeah.
Right. We present and it's awful. It's just, and I know I'm gonna get a bad grade on it, and I'm just not happy about it at all. And people, and like Avery was like, yeah, you just look like you were reading from the textbook. And I was like, I wasn't reading from the textbook. I had the textbook in front of me to reference it to make sure what I was saying was the correct information.
Yeah.
And he like barely talked, which was fine because I tend to talk a lot during presentations because I want to make sure what I'm saying makes sense.
Yeah.
And we have to cut it short anyways. So we didn't even get to his slides.
Oh, geez.
Didn't even get to his slides.
Oh, I.
So I sat down and and then I'm like frustrated because this is just the day I've been having. And I can't quite remember what went down that night. I think that people may have been over or something, but we have 2 bathrooms in our apartment, right? 2 bathrooms, 6 people. So you would think 3 and 3, right?
Yeah.
So 3 of my roommates are here. Me, my roommate, and someone in a private room is here. Well, recently, this person has decided, I don't like this bathroom. So without saying anything, I'm going to start using this bathroom.
Why?
So now there's 4 of us in one bathroom and 2 in another. And I'm like, you didn't even say anything. Like, why? What is the point here that you've thrown this all off? Like, she moves her stuff into our shower. And so she like hops out of the shower. And I noticed that she walked out of our bathroom. And I'm just frustrated. And so I look at my roommate and like, I'm going to work out right now, because if I don't work out and get some of this frustration and anger out, I will physically fight someone right now. I'll do it.
Yeah,
So
I
I
don't
went and
get
worked out.
that.
So I went and worked out. Right. This is still only Wednesday. You know, I come home, it's fine. I think we like watch a movie or something and I go to bed. I'm just not having it. Tuesday's not my day.
Yeah.
Wednesday. Okay.
Wednesday is 1,000% not your day.
Wednesday's okay, right? It's going okay. Go to the animal shelter, having a grand old time. Did my homework. Actually, no, I didn't do some of it. I instead went and I was talking to my roommate. I was like, hey, like, I'm not in like a good mood. Like, I'm not in a good place right now. Like, maybe I shouldn't go to country dancing. Like, maybe I shouldn't go here and like see these people that I'm just not in the mood to like try and get along with. And I'm not interested in dealing with my emotions surrounding this person. And like, I go anyways, because she wants to go and she doesn't have a car. And I know that I have a friend that always wants to go and he doesn't have a car either. So I'm the ride. So we go and pick him up and we're there and it's fine. And like we get there and I'm just standing there and I'm not dancing. I'm just standing there and no one asked me to dance. And of course, you know, there's this guy over here who is asking my friends to dance. And I'm just standing there like, that doesn't, ask my friend twice to dance. And I'm standing here, I'm like, that doesn't hurt. Right. I'm fine. I walk outside and I text Maddie, as one does, you know.
Does when they're in a stressful and distressing situation, they call their best.
And I feel bad because we were having like a totally normal conversation. And I'm like, and all of a sudden you get this text where I'm like, I literally texted you. I said, I'm freaking out. I'm gonna have a panic attack.
Yep.
And then I just assume she's asleep because she's 2 hours ahead. I'm there at 8 o'clock, so it's like 10 o'clock. And Maddie's like an old lady, so she goes to bed early.
Don't judge, okay? Don't judge.
We love a queen that takes care of herself, right? Beauty sleep. Clearly, that's why I look like this.
You look great.
So I freaking try to call her. It goes straight to voicemail. I'm like, whatever, that's fine. I can survive without her tonight. And I go back in and a slow song comes on and some random guy asked me to dance. And I'm like, oh, of course. Like, I'm never going to say no to anyone that asks me to dance, you know?
Yeah.
And so I'm dancing and I feel my pocket start to buzz. And I'm like, oh, crap, Maddie's calling me. And I still have the voicemail. I'm like, I'm never deleting this. And I was like, whoa, the song just has to go over and I'll go out and call her. But then like I have a text from her that's like, why aren't you answering? Why aren't you picking up? Like, I'm worried. And then the voicemail is like, hey, like you didn't pick up and I'm worried. Like, I love you. Please call me. And so I'm like walking towards the door and I get stopped by my roommate and him, Kiwi. And like my roommate tries to say something to me and I'm like, I have to go. I have to call Maddie. I'm like in distress. I'm like, she called me and I missed her call and I don't want her to think that like I'm not okay. So I zoom past her. I was like, I'm calling Madison. And I walked outside and I like called you and I went over and sat by my car and then got in my car because I realized I was parked in my handicap spot. I don't know how I missed that the first time, but I did. So I moved my car and then we're just talking and we're talking for like a half hour. And then Kaisa finally comes out, like gets in my car and she goes, what's wrong? Like, what's going on? And I'm like in tears because I'm just like falling apart through like what happened on Tuesday and like my feelings for this boy that I can't function with or like do anything about. And so like all of this is like happening. And then I'm like, okay, I have to go. I haven't eaten anything all day because that's what I do when I'm stressed. I ate nothing the entire day. I think maybe I had like a granola bar or something. And so I'm also just like really weak because I haven't eaten anything.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I'll do it. I'll suck it up. I'll go back in there. I go back in there. It's fine. He asked me to dance. We danced, but I end up dancing with other people. I ask other people. People ask me, like, and it's fine. It's fun. But then a group of my roommate's friends show up. And said person is in this group of friends.
Octopus.
And like I just watched this moment where like she's running over to greet her to be like, oh hey, and her friend sees him, pushes my roommate to the side, who's like in the middle of trying to give her a hug and like beelines it. And I'm like,
For a boy, you guys. For a boy.
I need to walk outside. I was like, I have no right to be upset in this situation. I have no right. I'm outside having a conversation with one of my friends from the PR class from the day before. One of my friends who showed up. I was like, oh my gosh, you're here. Hey, like, and we're talking about, because we see another classmate there. But it's the one classmate that we can't quite ever remember her name because she doesn't speak a lot. So we feel bad. So I'm like, here, I have a way to figure it out. Like, come here. So we walk outside where I have internet and I look on the, like, under people, under the canvas, because, like, that has your entire class. And this girl, Octopus, walks over to me while I'm having a conversation with someone else, right? I'm having a conversation, like a normal convo. And she, like, goes like this.
Like a child reaches for their mother.
I was like, I'm talking to someone. And she, like, interrupts me and is like, you're not going to give me a hug? And I was like, I'm talking to someone. I literally go, hold on. And I talk, and I'm like talking to this, my friend. And finally, she's still standing there. So finally, I just go, like, I pat her on the back. And she goes, are you okay? Like, what's going on? Like, are you fine? And I'm literally like, I'm fine. I'm okay. I'm good. And she's like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah, I'm just talking to my friend. And she's like, oh, okay. And like turns around and goes inside.
Oh my gosh.
And then I go inside and like she's still touching me and stuff and like still like. So finally I'm like, I have to go. I can't be here right now.
Yeah.
I stayed for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Right. That seems reasonable. So I leave. My roommate's freaking out. She's like, we're getting you food. We're going straight to McDonald's. We're getting you 2 cheeseburgers. Like, as a good roommate does, right? Like, as a good roommate does.
Kaleigh and
Not only
I
that,
get cheeseburgers all the time when we were sad.
but she paid for the food.
Even better. Even better.
So basically, my roommate is also the love of my life. Because she treats me better than any man ever has and probably ever will. So I'm under the stipulation of I am not allowed to be married until she's back from her mission. And she hasn't even left. She hasn't even put in her papers.
Oh, man.
So I either get married before she leaves this summer, not a bad timeline, or I have to wait 2 years. And at that point, I will be graduated and like probably living my life.
Okay.
And I'm just not allowed to get married?
Not a problem. I'm graduating.
No, I know. I know. I'm not
Okay.
trying to say that your life is like falling apart because you're not married. You're fine. But so we go to McDonald's, we go home. Did we watch a movie Wednesday night after? Because we came home, we studied scriptures. We forced our friend to study scriptures with us. We're like, if you're here, You're gonna read the scriptures with us because I'm eating food.
Yeah, we did.
What movie did we watch?
Oh wait, hold up. That wasn't the night we made food.
No, that was
Didn't you watch
Thursday.
The Other Guys?
No, we watched The Other Guys. Thursday night I watched The Other Guys because you were at work. We watched a movie. I don't remember what it was. Oh, also what happens this night is previously Kiwi has been trying to set up like a time for us all to go rock climbing as friends, right? Right. I text him, I say, Saturday doesn't work for Kaisa. She has work. But I can go. I'm still down to go, and we can also set up a time that Kaisa can go, like, whatever works. And he just goes, well, we'll figure it out tomorrow. Because this is on Tuesday. Because he figures that I just go country dancing every week, which is fine, whatever. And I made a joke. I was like, who says I'm going to be there? So we show up, and he's like, yeah, so Monday. And I was like, Monday's FHE. Like, I would prefer not to skip that,
Yeah.
And granted, we tried to get you to go last night, and you had plans that you weren't willing to skip, which is fine. But I don't really want to skip FHE, which in all reality, that's what we're doing in the end anyways. And so he's like, so Tuesday then? And I was like, Tuesday is not a good day. Tuesdays are my busiest days. They're my most stressful days. It's the beginning of the week. I have homework for the entire week. Like, Tuesday's not a good day. And he's like, okay, so let's just plan for Tuesday then. And then if you can't do it, then we'll just reschedule. I'm like, whatever. You're not listening to me. That's fine.
Ugh.
So then yesterday I get a text from him, and he's like, so rock climbing Tuesdays when we're going, right? And I was like, no, did you not listen to anything that I said? He's like, okay. And he's like, but I want to go with you before you go home, because I know that you're going home to Washington really soon. And I was like, yeah, I'm going home on Saturday. So that gives us the entire week. But I'm also busy this week because I'm preparing to go home. I have to pack. I have to get all of my classes in order to be able to do them from Zoom while I'm at home, because I'm, our break's not that long.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, this week is just really hard. That's why I would have preferred to go Saturday. And then last night, because like Friday's fine. Nothing. Oh, I see my old roommate on Friday. It's fine. Like, we hang out. She brought her dog. So cute. Like, nothing really happened Friday. Thursday night, I watched The Other Guys after watching Red Notice at the movie theater. Red Notice was good. A little weird. Ed Sheeran's in it.
I watched it today.
Did you? Is it on Netflix? And why did I pay to see it in the theater?
It's a Netflix movie.
That's what I thought. But I enjoyed seeing it in the theater. Ed Sheeran's in it. Love that for him.
Such a weird moment.
Like, random. And then
Ryan Reynolds is literally the funniest actor ever.
He looks so good.
I love Ryan Reynolds, you guys. I love Ryan Reynolds.
But my roommate one of my other roommates comes into my room last night, and she goes, hey, me and my boyfriend, we're going rock climbing tonight. Do you want to go? And I was like, yeah, I'm just in the middle of an assignment, and I don't know if I'll be able to finish it by then. She's like, let me, like, get back to you on that. And she goes, we invited Kiwi to go, and he says he's probably going to go. And I was like,
interesting.
So he wouldn't go if it was just me and him, but with a group of people he goes. So that's where I'm like at the point, like, I don't want to tell him, I don't want to talk to him, because he's made it pretty clear that these feelings are completely one-sided.
Yeah.
But then there's other people that are like, the way that he acts around you, and the fact that, like, he is around you a lot and, like, makes plans to do things with you. Because, like, while we did end up going last night, and I guess he texted her boyfriend and said, like, oh, is Kaleigh coming? Like, is she coming? And I was like, yeah, just assume I'm coming. Like, basically, so, like, to plan for a ride, just assume I'm coming.
Yeah.
And I did go because I got my assignment done. But I was like, that's just, like, annoying to me. Because I don't think that he was asking if I was going to, like, make sure that I was there. I think he was asking in order to give that information to be the deciding factor on if his brother comes or not.
Cactus. Yeah. Kiwi and Cactus.
Kiwi and Cactus. Yeah.
That's their name.
Yeah, we gave them code names because we're just not really ready to expose ourselves. But we've already exposed ourselves enough through this conversation.
Well, we've exposed them enough that like they know who they are,
And like the people close to us will know.
but we're not putting their names and personal information on blast for the internet. So
Yeah, the internet will not know. So, but now we're still going on Monday, so Kaleigh can come.
We are? Yay!
Unless Kaleigh just pulls out like a real homie. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, wow. That's a good thought. No,
Stop, Kaleigh! She goes, I'll pull out. I have a good pull out.
Kaleigh, you're a girl. You can't have a good pull out.
She's an 18-year-old child. Oh my gosh. Did I tell you? What's so funny is I have a list of things that she said on my phone. And one of the funniest things that I have is we were playing this game that required us to play concentration. And if anyone knows concentration, you have a category and you have to name as many things in that category as you can without repeating them.
Yeah.
And you have to stay on beat. And so the category is holidays. And like, we're going through them. Like, we're running out of holidays, obviously. And she goes, 9/11. I was like, I don't think that's a holiday.
Kaleigh.
I was just like in awe. And she goes, I didn't have anything else to say. And I was like, honey, that's not something we celebrate. That's like an anniversary of a tragedy. And she's like, I know, it just came out. Like granted, like it's okay. She's ashamed of it too, but like there's other people there too. And we were all just kind of like in a moment of like, did she actually just say that? 9/11. So needless to say, she lost that round.
Yeah, for sure.
As she should.
Oh my gosh.
But
what a week.
What a week. And here's the start to a new, better week.
Woohoo!
I want to know what went on with you though, because you had a rough week too.
My health is not that great at the moment, which is what kind of made my week a little rough. I worked every day this week. I worked yesterday. We do a pride party every month because our company is a part of the Naples Pride Business Alliance. So we host a pride party every month, and it was really fun. It was great. Yeah, I don't know. This week was just like really hard physically, and then that took a toll mentally. And it's frustrating because I think the biggest issue is like, so I've got like endometriosis and adenomyosis, and those people have a tendency to think that those things only affect you when you're on your period, but they don't. They're constantly affecting my body. And sure, they're worse when I'm on my period. Like it's really, really bad. But what other people don't realize too is that there is no cure for it. So the way to manage it is to take birth control or to take like these other prescription drugs. But those like mess with my mental health so bad, and they just make me feel awful. So it's like, okay, do I put myself in physical pain or do I put myself in mental distress?
Yeah.
You like,
it's like there's no win-win.
Yeah, no, like it's just a lose-lose situation all the way around. So this week was just really frustrating because I had to go get blood work done, and they took like 14 vials, and then I passed out on the nurse, and it was just not pleasant at all. And I've just been laying low and trying to, relax.
I have a box if you don't.
I have a box.
So that's pretty much been my week. I've been watching a lot of TV, a lot of movies.
I have too. I watched, not yesterday night, Friday night, I watched Hitch for the first time.
I love that movie.
Good. So good. Kais is like kind of like making me watch the classics that like I haven't seen. So I watched The Notebook for the first time as well.
I love that movie too.
It's really bothering me that I can't remember what we watched Wednesday night. Maybe I have to text Gavin and see if he knows. I know we watched something. But then Thursday I watched The Other Guys and Red Notice. Friday we watched Hitch, then we went to the parking lot to dance.
Nice.
All the way out in St. Anthony. Like we went all the way to St. Anthony so no one would like see us really. We went to like the small town next.
Yeah.
And then we came back and watched The Notebook. And then Saturday we took an impromptu trip to Target because we needed it. Where I got this lovely sweater.
I got my sweater from Target.
Yes.
We love Target.
So good.
Target is great. Well, one thing that I think would be really fun every time we close out one of these deep chit chat podcasts is a song of the week.
Oh, like our personal songs of the week?
Yeah, like we're constantly recommending music to people. So let's keep up with the tradition of recommending music. What song this week, Kaleigh?
I'd have to say either Taylor's version of Begin Again, because that song just love it. It's so cute. Or Tate McRae just dropped a song this week called Feel Like Shit. So good.
So good.
So good. Highly, highly recommend it. I have concert tickets to see her in April.
So exciting.
And for Christmas, I'm seeing if my mom will give me money to upgrade to the VIP so I can do the meet and greet and get the beanie and get first entry into the venue. Because the ticket was $25.
Yeah. Not super.
For general admission, because that's all they offer. $25 for general admission. Kaisa bought a ticket too, so I'm not going alone. And then for the VIP upgrade, it's only $75. So altogether, it's $100 for a ticket to meet her, get a free beanie, get first entry into the venue, and you get like a commemorative laminated like VIP badge.
Yeah, that would be so fun.
So I'm pretty stoked.
I
want to know your recommend though.
My recommended this week is probably Half-Hearted by We3.
Oh, I love that song.
That one or the Tick Tick Boom soundtrack. It's a new Netflix movie that's dropping next weekend, and
is it? It's next weekend?
Mm-hmm.
They dropped the soundtrack for it already?
Yeah, and let me just tell you, freaking Andrew Garfield can sing, guys. Like, he's so good. He's so good.
So from We3, I really, really like I Want to Love Somebody or Heaven's Not Too Far. Heaven's Not Too Far will wreck you, though. Like,
yeah, Heaven's Not Too Far makes me cry every time I listen to it. It doesn't matter if I'm like with my best friends or if I'm at the beach or if I'm just sitting at home. It doesn't matter where I listen to it. I'm sobbing.
The other recommendation I have is Bruno Mars' Super Silk Sonic album just dropped.
So good.
Phenomenal album. Smoking Out the Window, absolute banger. So smooth, so good. But those are my weekly recommendations for sure.
Yeah. Well, this has been quite the introductory episode.
I'm so sorry that we didn't do any kind of like soft launch. This is full in.
We just kind of said, you know what, we're going to go for it. It's full send. I'm sure over time, each of our podcasts will have a little bit more of a theme. And we want to hear kind of what you guys want to hear about, because the whole premise behind this idea, I guess, came from the fact that we are, best friends that live thousands of miles away from each other on opposite ends of the country. And so this is kind of our love letter to each other, and just trying to keep in contact and let you guys in on the loop a little bit.
And with that comes the launch of our company called Dear Best Friend. And so that's what this podcast is named after, Dear Best Friend. Madison has designed a beautiful logo. Absolutely love it. I've fallen in love with that logo, as well as we're putting together a website. We have socials lined up, but we're going to start collaborating on stuff that we can put out, like stationery and like some kind of line just to kind of go along with it. We're really excited to start kind of this journey. It's something that just kind of just came out of the blue for me. I was on my way to Utah, in the middle of driving to Utah, and she goes, "We're starting a company." And I said, "I'm all in. Whatever you want, I'll do it." And that night I was like, I want it to be sage green. Like I want, like, that night I was just like, this is super random, but I just had a thought about this. So the entire night we're just like texting back and forth about, like, they don't have any like kind of like order to them. We kind of were like, there's this and this, and like, oh, think about this, and we have to get this up. So look out for our socials, because that's where we'll be like having the links to everything and like being able to get all of that launched. But we're still really, really new to it and really new company. So just be not careful, be patient with us. And obviously we'll have our personal socials lined up, because we'd love for you to keep up with us.
Yeah.
Not that like you have to, because our lives aren't that interesting, clearly.
No, they're not that exciting, but it's nice to be able to create a safe space and just a space in general that allows people to have open and honest conversations about what real life looks like. Because we're not,
especially college, because a lot of people who are on media right now, it's really great and I love what they do, but a lot of them just opt out not to go to college, and that's okay. Madison has already graduated with her bachelor's in communications. When we met, we didn't know this, but we're actually in the same major. We just have different emphasis. So I'm currently in my third year now of college to get my degree in communications and hopefully go on to do something really exciting with that. But I think as college students, we don't talk about like what actually goes on like day to day enough, because we're all struggling with our own battles every single day. And as living so far apart, it's always hard to keep up with that. And I know like Madison has voiced her fears, and I've had my fears of like being so far apart and us losing that friendship. But it's a friendship that's just so important to both of us that we want to put in that effort to make sure that we are always in each other's lives, because a friendship like this doesn't come along every day, especially in the way that it started, in the tumultuous, like the turmoil that came with it. But there's our private socials, our personal socials, and those are always really fun. If you see me dancing on there, no, you didn't. Eventually, I would love to like be able to take anonymous stories from you guys and like you're struggling within your own friendships, and see what advice we could relate to you guys through our own personal experiences and what we've struggled with through our own friendships. Because while we seem like we're really good friends, because we are, there's definitely been some moments where we wanted to wring each other's necks.
Facts.
And typically they were at the same time. We were just so upset with each other. But obviously we haven't let that affect us in the long run. And like we took a trip together, like to Florida actually, before she moved there. And I'm just waiting till I get to go back and see her.
Yeah. So let this be a place where you realize we're not perfect people. We don't have perfect lives.
What?
College is hard. Post-college is hard. I mean, people don't tell you what life is like after college. They don't tell you all of the things that come with leaving that part of your life behind. And, we're here to just offer up whatever experiences we have. It may not be the best or the most sound advice, but it's a little bit of an insight into the fact that reality is scary and it's messy, but good things can come from it.
Or even feel free to listen to us and just laugh at how stupid we are sometimes. Like laugh at our crumbled foundation of love life, because we have none.
We have none.
So if you're single, we are too. I like hopefully wish not for long, but Yeah,
we'll see. Well, we'll try our best to put at least one of these podcast episodes out every week, keeping you guys updated on our socials, which we'll include in the description below. Not to be those stereotypical, give us a like and subscribe. But if you really do enjoy how dumb we are,
because there's a lot of stupidity, I promise.
Oh yeah,
This is the beginning.
she over delivers. She'll promise you stupidity
every week. Like, I don't know if you've noticed, but my song recommendation, Begin Again, also correlates with how I'm feeling about someone right now. Like, it's everything I do, I think about constantly.
Yeah. So thank you guys for listening. Hopefully, if you guys ever want, you can reach out to us on our personal pages, which will also be linked below, or to our website. And yeah, thanks for letting us, just indulging us in our little business venture here and little fun side project. And we hope to talk to you guys soon. So
yeah, love you, Madison. As always, love you.
Love you.
We'll probably talk throughout the week, but see you next week.
Yep.
Okay.